My life of stress, sometimes I wonder if the best thing isn't death. When I was younger, I thought I'd grow up to be one of the best, but who would have guessed I'd have to settle for less? Dreams don't come true when reality comes through. Never would have guessed when we were kids. But what can I do? My life of stress. Just get on with it, I guess.
How's it going? How's alright? How are you?
This is St. Paul's.
Yeah, this is the hostel. These sort of staff lodge. So you've got to press this. Well, you after some sort of room?
Yeah.
A place. Where you come from?
From Shropshire.
Shropshire? That's a bit of a way, eh?
It is.
Yeah, I'll let you get in. You press this bell. There, nice. And the staff will loose you in.
What it beckons me, it offered endless sleep, a sleep I so desired when my pillowcase was barbed wire.
I've made homeless through family problems, being rebellious as a kid, wanting my own freedom and things like that.
Yes. So how old were you roughly when things were getting bad at home?
15 years of age.
And so what happened?
Basically, I wouldn't do anything my parents said, and they finally decided at the age of 16 they'd let me go, more or less. I went out to work one day, told my dad I'd be out late on the Friday night, come home and bags were packed. I'd made homeless, went down to London and basically spent a certain amount of years on the street.
It is a big step. I can
Yes,
see where you mean by, oh, I'm looking for riches and it's paved with gold.
Yeah.
But did you, it soon, like, vanished your hopes
It
as soon as you got there, like?
Basically, it soon wore off after about a week to a month.
Exactly, yeah, because you find the cold affects you and you don't feel like all your dreams have been shattered, sort of thing.
I felt,
you know,
the cold affected me, but I was lucky. I had an advantage. I had a very good
upbringing.
I had a very good teacher taught me how to survive on the street. My dad.
Yeah.
It was about 4 weeks before I finally made my
a decision.
Made my mind up to go in and talk to staff.
Yeah.
Because basically, without an address, I couldn't get benefits, and without benefits, it's very hard to survive.
That's right. Yeah.
Unless, at the age of 16, you can't sell the big issue. Basically.
Didn't you do any thieving?
No.
Yeah.
I mixed with youngsters.
Yeah, because you was out there in London time very early in your lifestyle, like, you know.
Basically, if you mix with a group on the street of your own, more or less your own age, safety in numbers, you depend on each other.
Yeah, it's like in here, you do become one big family.
Yeah.
I've been in lots of hostels where, you know, and bed sits and that, and we all...
But you do become an actual big family and a community and a world of your own, but do they lead you down the wrong path?
No.
Because...
basically, during the daytime, we'd all go off and do our own thing and just meet up at night time.
Why did you leave London, Ace, to travel down to St Paul's?
Basically, I left London to try and rebuild bridges and to try and find somewhere to live. I went into housing benefit and spoke to an homeless officer, and they referred me to the hostel.
Yeah. So you didn't go through Max or anywhere like that?
No. I went in to the housing benefit department, sat down and talked to a guy from the homeless section, and he referred me up here.
So,
how long did it take? Did it take a while?
No, I went in at 10 o'clock on Friday morning. I was booked in at 3 o'clock on the Friday afternoon.
God, that's good. Usually you've got to wait 4 or 5 days.
Yeah, you normally have to wait.
Even longer than that.
Normally you have to wait for a vacancy. Yeah. When I come into St Paul's, I found it very helpful. Basically, because when I was on the street, I couldn't get all my medication that I required.
That's good for you.
The minute I come into St Paul's, I had all the help to sign on, sort my medication out, and get me put back on the straight and narrow, basically.
Yeah, which is.
That's
Because
one of the good points, yeah.
Because basically I couldn't do everything on my own.
Where did you go after you left for St Paul's?
Basically I left St Paul's, I registered to go into the forces, and I went straight into the forces basically. Done the 6 weeks basic training, done 2 tours of Northern Ireland, two tours of Bosnia.
So
I bet you've seen some.
I've seen some things that you wouldn't want.
And why did you actually stop being in the army? Or
Basically, I started to suffer with flashbacks, depression. I was seeing visions of people getting blown up.
Yeah.
In the end, I had to come out on medical grounds.
Oh, so.
Yeah, we do you ready?
So,
It must have been difficult coming out of the army back into
Civvy Street.
Civvy Street. Yeah.
Basically, it was difficult coming out of the forces because when I was in the forces, I had everything done for me. As I suffered from depression when I come out, you couldn't get any medical help or anything.
Yeah. And did you find that army life just finished for you when you come out, or did they actually be round you and look after you with the experience?
Basically, once you come out, you're on your own basically.
You are civvy, sort of thing.
Once you get demobbed or discharged on medical grounds, you're on your own.
And what did you do then, to actually supply yourself with what you was used to?
Basically, I spent time with I was living at home with my wife. She couldn't cope with me being around her all day long.
Yeah.
Basically, then from that, I went on to taking drugs, drink.
Drugs as in medication drugs or medication drugs?
Drink, and then from there, I went back onto the streets, and then I came back up into St Paul's, and from there on, I actually sat down, done my key worker sessions, attended all the projects I was requested to attend, housing meetings, and from there I paid my service charges on time, kept myself out of trouble, and I went into resettlement.
So it's really helped you get back on the straight and narrow.
Yeah, it's basically helped me get back straight on the narrow, and it's basically now I've got my own freedom, my Hostel life. I can come and go when I want.
Yeah. But are you looking for actually what you had before, home life?
Yes,
in between the army and an hostel, is that what you're aiming for again now? Because you can actually deal with your flashbacks and what have you.
I'm actually looking forward to going into my own place now. Because now, being in here, I've got all the medical treatment I need sorted out. I've got doctors, I've got CPNs, I've got psychiatrists, I've got the lot sorted out through being in here. Because basically being in here, some of the things I've got sorted out in here, I wouldn't have got sorted out on the street.
What's good soil?
It's a project where residents from the hostel can go and learn about animals, agricultural, potting plants.
So it's good therapy as well.
Yeah. Basically, it's learning new skills. I took on reading and writing literacy groups and having my CV put together with Jerry.
Yeah. So,
and you now work, you're going to start a job.
And I've also now got a part-time job.
You've got it, so you properly...
So you're doing well.
Yeah.
Good.
So where will you move on from when you've achieved all your... you've got this job and you reburst with St Paul's.
Basically, next step from here is into my own accommodation.
Is that your next?
And then from there is into full-time. Is into full-time employment.
Yeah. So it's up and on,
up and onwards from
here. That's it. Yeah. Now looking back as such.
No.
If you do the same things, you get the same.
This is one of the houses, one of three they've got from St Paul's. Basically, this is where you move on to resettlement. This is where you can stay up to 2 years or more before you move on to your next place.
What is the resettlement project?
Basically, the resettlement project is where you move on from the hostel. It's the next stage one from getting your own property. Basically, what they do, they put you in here for a short while. It means you can prove to them you can cook, you can pay your bills, look after yourself. basically where they pay £68 in the hostel,
Yeah.
we pay £32. But why we pay a cheaper rate of rent is because we have to buy our own food.
Yeah, so you're a lot more independent.
Yeah, and we've got no restrictions on what time we come and go. We're allowed visitors for 3 nights a week.
Yeah.
But you do still get help from the hostel if
required.
and when it's needed.
Yeah.
Well, thanks to places like this, which should be and should be respected, it's
Yeah,
put me
gives
back.
you a
I've got my
chance
own
to
place
practice.
now, love. I ain't in a resettlement. I went through what they call the system and stuff like that, and I've got my own place. They just ain't actually like appreciated enough. They ain't threw out there into into the media to tell them that there is places and how much this universe
Yeah, and how much they are needed, houses like this.
and all that when you're on the streets and all that stuff you miss from your own life, and you're sitting down and going to your own house, putting your feet up and stuff like that, all that's stripped away from you. It's only through people and places like this, it's brought back. It brings you back into society.
Yeah.
You ain't such a roughneck. You can meet people, you can talk to people.
And it gives you a hand with bills, etc. as well,
Yeah.
getting used
Gives
to
you
paying
self-pride
bills.
back along.
And cooking, obviously.
Yeah.
Keeping the place tidy for each other. And
It's a very good thing. Well, they should fund them more often and really, I mean, the people I've been round here and stuff like that are really into this. They really appreciate it.
after I moved out from a place like this, after the hostel, you bid for a place on the computer every weekly. And if you're lucky, you get a place. And the hostel helps you. You do get
Refurbish it.
a grant and that, yeah.
Yeah, you get
They'll
a
give you your
sub £1 grant, but if your grant don't actually cover everything in what you need, which maybe download your own comforts and stuff like that, you can return to the resettlement team
Yeah,
and then
they've
have
got
a
a
little
store.
unit where they can actually supply you with a settee, bedding,
From donations. that
from
is.
donations, what they get donated in, which is quite good. Lot
So
of-
donations is very important
Very
Very.
important.
to resettlement.
Yeah,
Especially now with the cutbacks and that.
Yeah.
All donations are gratefully
Yeah, they are.
received.
You see it every day of the week. You walk down the road and you see things discarded, and but
Yeah.
It's,
People
people don't
chucking out
know
cities.
that
exactly, they don't know.
donate
They
it
can
to own
actually
shelters.
get it.
They have
Yeah.
got a van, so they can come and pick it up.
Once you've got your own establishment and you've achieved all major goals and stuff like that, and you've got a place you can call your own, and it then can
You just
turn
need that
around.
little bit of help.
Exactly,
just
yeah.
a little push just
it's-
to start you on your way.
Yeah, because most of us have literacy issues,
Yeah, that's it.
and we have lessons there.
And you do still get support from either the hostel. They don't leave you in your flat. You know, you just
Yeah.
don't get a flat and then you're left to your own
Yeah,
There's always
devices.
someone there.
You have an actual period of time where they will come round,
Yeah,
and if you've
that
ever got
first
any
year.
worries, or you've been picked on, or you've been bullied, any shape, way or form, just turn round to them. If you can't handle it yourself, turn round to a member of staff, and then can sort it out through the proper legal channels.
And if nothing changes, nothing changes, no nothing.
This is the new canteen where we moved from the old canteen. We come in here for a cup of tea in the morning when we first start, look at the job board, and that's where we find out what jobs we've got for the day.
Have you done every job on the farm, Dave?
Every job.
Every job what's actually on this plot of land here, have you ever?
Yeah.
You've done every one.
You clean all the top off the top, clean out the boxes, clean the floors, wash the walls down. At the end of every month, it gets blitzed completely. They're fed first thing in the morning, the afternoon, and that keeps them going through the day. Basically, this is where we register, write down all the eggs we collect, and if any of them are dirty, they need to be washed by water. That way then they're clean to be sent to the shop. We cut the windows out, We've actually got a guy who does carpentry on site. Basically, I get a lot of enjoyment out of coming here. It's free. It gives me my freedom from the hostel. I'm learning new skills to put up, things to put onto my CV, and it's just an enjoyment to come out to the farm.
The man sits on the lonely bench outside the hostel in which a room he rents. He sits there contemplating life and how he came to lose his wife. A vodka bottle tied in his hand, no one seems to understand. She won't let him see the kid, exaggerating the things he did. Now the house is repossessed, and the bailiffs took the rest. He listens to gossip going on, to everybody's neck gone. The DHS won't give him any cash. They say his paperwork is trash. A couple of doggins in his tin, and not even a Rizzler to put them in.
Thanks. Yeah, one of my jobs is to look for activities that people would be interested in. I put out a questionnaire and ask people what they'd like to do, and then I try and source that activity for them to attend, and then it's drumming up the support from the residents to go, and that can sometimes be the hard part of the job. We are a charity, and so the money that we have coming in is really from supporting people, and that pays for the staff salary, and we are then funded by housing benefit that pays for the actual hostel accommodation or your accommodation in the shared house. Okay, I'm funded through the lottery bid. Okay, lottery bid I had to do, and that pays for my salary, the chef, because he's a support chef and he trains people in the kitchen, and for the kitchen assistant's job. Okay, any activities have to be paid for by general donations from the public. I have done a grant for money come in for people to go to the farm, okay, and for a counselling service that we have. Those are two special grants that I applied for, but we have to pay for 3 people to go every time, twice a week, out to the farm. So if we can have up to 4 people going, but I do have to pay for 3 people to attend.
So it's all about actually like funding. If the funding ain't there, it tends to slow you down as such. Like, so
well, that's part
it's
of
really important.
It's part of my job to balance the funding out and the amount of people going, and try and balance that out.
Yeah.
So that I'm not wasting any money, but I'm also encouraging residents to go and enjoy themselves.
Basically, why do people come to the hostel? Is it because they're made homeless through personal problems? And if someone comes to you with a drink problem, who's feeling apprehensive to talk, like say to a key worker, how do you encourage them to give that information?
Okay.
And also, how can you refer them on to people?
Okay, it's a good question. What we do when people first come to the hostel, they have what we call an initial assessment. So we go through about where they've been, so what's led to their homelessness, and where they're at the moment, who are they working with at the moment, are they working with any other agencies, if they've got an alcohol problem, are they working with anyone with an alcohol, drug problem, are they working with everyone else, mental health problem, do they have a CPN, that sort of thing. So all that is noted at initial assessment. I will then allocate a key worker, so everyone has their own key worker, so that's one person they can go to. They can go to any other member of staff, but one person will be responsible for their care.
If someone comes into the hostel and they've gone through key worker sessions and they want to move on to resettlement, what do they need to do, and how do you support them once they're actually in there?
Okay. When someone books into the hostel, they get an appointment to attend a housing options clinic. Okay, and that is when a resettlement worker comes to the hostel, a key worker comes from the hostel with the client, and they all meet to decide and discuss what that person's options is to move on. Okay, our aim is to move everyone on into independent living. It's not to stay in the hostel. So that's established quite early on, is what is appropriate accommodation, or what would they like. They then meet in that meeting, and then the rest of the support that's given in the hostel is about moving them on to that appropriate accommodation. It can take 2 years and it can take 3 months. It all depends on the individual. Okay. Once we feel that they are ready to move on, and once they feel they're ready to move on, they can go into one of the shared houses that we have, or they can go out into a local authority tenancy in the community, and we will support them for as long as needed. Okay, some people again will only want support for a couple of months, help them to set up their utility bills, help them to get furniture, and then they're quite happy and they don't want any more support, whereas other people need quite a lot of support, and that's fine, and you can dip in and out of support. You know, if you feel that you're quite confident, you're running your tenancy fine, and then you say, thanks very much, I don't need your support anymore, and then 6 months down the line you get a horrible gas bill that you don't understand, and it might be a mistake, but a lot of people just leave. They run away from their tenancies at that point because they don't understand how to fix it.
About volunteers, do you find that the actual hostel is overrun by volunteers? Do you have enough volunteers?
Oh, that's a good question, Paul. We never have enough volunteers.
Never
never have enough.
Are you ever short of a volunteer? Do you get people stepping forward?
We don't always get people stepping forward, no. And sometimes, yes, we are short of volunteers. We have volunteers who do the evening meals, and we used to have 2 volunteers every night, and we've dropped down now so much that we've asked everybody to come 1 a night. Then there's other things like they can come and be the 4th member of staff, and that's quite a big role. So they learn how to do the job that a support worker does whilst being volunteer. That's once a week. And then we have befriending. So we have resettled clients. Oh, for example, you being a resettled client.
Yeah.
Having had somebody who's a volunteer that you meet up with once a week and have a cup of tea with. So a new role we've just had as well is our volunteer driver. He comes and he drives the van and he picks up furniture that people want to donate. And he gets the telephone call, he goes to the house, he usually has somebody working with him, and they pick up the furniture onto the van and take it to our store, which can then get given out to people being resettled.
If I'm a resident in the hostel and I want to volunteer, what would I need to do? Is it compatible for a resident to volunteer?
Yes, it is. It is. There are roles for residents to do as volunteers in the hostel. There's kitchen work, there's working with Matt in the kitchen, and then there's also doing the evening meals. Right. I'd be really, really happy for residents to come and join my rotas for working the evening meals. If you were somebody who was living outside of the hostel and wanted to come and volunteer, then I would say ring me up or email me and I'll show you around, and then we'll discuss the different options of different things that you can do, and we would take it from there.
So nothing changes, no, nothing changes.
As a key worker, I'm generally given 4 main clients to take care of out of the 46 that are here. I take a special interest and I help signpost them to whatever needs they may have, which may be benefits, or it may be health orientated, or housing, and often a combination of all of these. There's many different reasons for ending up homeless, so as I say, my job's not to be a specialist in any areas, but I do need to understand the types of areas that are needed within the homeless community.
In what way do you help residents?
I help with a lot of basic life skills really, like I know Jerry does reading and writing, numeracy, literacy and stuff like that, but I help with basic reading and writing and recipes and stuff like that, you know.
The measurements and
that's it. Budgeting
have you still got a course going? Did you do a course?
Yeah, there's a 6 lesson plan course, well, that's it. People go through these lesson plan courses and stuff. But that's the main thing, and it's giving them confidence and stuff, you know. With the cooking, they gain confidence to move on when they're in their own way. We're funded by the National Lottery now. That's where our core funding comes from. Sharon's also funded in the same way. Well, volunteers are our biggest source of, getting the job done really, because all my staff in the kitchen are volunteers. You know, they volunteer from within the hostel, from resettlement. Also got a volunteer network that's supplied by a volunteer coordinator at the hostel.
The dry house is for residents who have issues with alcohol drugs or any other substances. The aims of the project obviously are to help clients reach their own common goals and to live a substance-free lifestyle. The aims are to get them living independently in the community.
You recently had an award. What was it for?
The award I recently had was a DAT award for recognition of the work I do with my clients.
Okay, thank you very much. Is the night shelter really needed?
It is, yes, definitely. There's currently about 60 rough sleepers in Worcester City and the county. So the probability is that they'll want to access the night shelter. So yes, it's needed.
During what months is the shelter open, and what hours is it open?
It opens in November. We trialled this last year because the previous winter was really cold, so we wanted to be open in preparation. So last year it started from November through till March. We're doing the same again, we hope, for this year for a 16-week period, and it's open from about 9:30 till 7 a.m.
Would it be possible to extend the opening hours?
Not at the moment, because we've only got funding for 16 weeks, and that's all.
Someone has been through the St Paul's hostel system. Do you think there's enough resettlement properties for them to move into, especially for the women?
So enough houses out there? Well,
Houses.
no, there's never enough. But it's something we're working on. It's high on our agenda. We're always looking to expand. We have 3 houses, plus a dry house at the moment.
Yeah.
We may take on another 4-bedroom house. We'd like to develop an all year round night shelter or facility specifically for rough sleepers. And we'd like to use the model what we use at the night shelter with no second night out. So that means basically anybody who arrives new on the street should not spend a second night on the street, so we want to adopt that model. We're working quite closely with other voluntary and statutory bodies to try and get funding and premises for an all year round night shelter. So yeah, again, it's always top of our agenda. So we get the majority of our funding from Supporting People, which is a government funding initiative, which we're reviewed annually for. We're looking at cuts per hour per direct support we give clients this year. So I think we may be looking at about £36,000 in cutbacks just from Supporting People. The rest of the money comes from housing benefit and personal contributions, so clients top up to make up their money. We also rely quite heavily, particularly this year with all the cuts, on fundraising and donations.
Nothing changes, nothing changes, no, nothing changes. Whenever nothing changes, nothing changes, well, nothing changes, strange that. I'm gonna have to realize, I'm gonna have to be alive. I had to go to hell and realize, yeah. I'm gonna have to realize, I'm gonna have to be alive. I had to go to hell and realize. And that was the gift of desperation, and it was a gift indeed.